This is the Kevin Simpson Show, expert insight and analysis from the industry's top investment professionals. If you'd like a deeper understanding of today's markets, this is the show for you.
This is the Capital Wealth Planning Monthly Update for August 2021 with Kevin Simpson. My name is Jay Coulter. Kevin, let's start at a high level. What's your take on the last 30 days from a macro environment?
You know, it's hard to believe that markets just keep going up without a pause. Here we are for the seventh month in a row, Jay. 7 months. How long have we been doing this show? 7 months? We're bringing good luck to the stock market, that's for sure. So we've seen a little bit of a pullback in some of the economic data, both from the consumer side, the business side. Even the jobs report last Friday was, shocked everybody. 500,000 miss is a big miss. But it's a question or a situation where, once again, bad news is good news, because the Fed's not going to be doing anything with respect to tapering at this month's meeting, because now they have to wait and see what the September jobs report looks like. So we're probably not going to be seeing the tapering start till December or January, and that pushes back rate hikes, which celebrates the market over the short term.
Kevin, you were on CNBC this morning talking about the energy markets. What's your take today as we sit here in the beginning of September as far as how advisors should look at energy in their portfolios?
Yeah, Jay, I've been sitting in this chair for 14 hours now, so I think to give you a little insight into energy, we like it. All the big names have come off their highs. Why? Because there's a real situation with the Delta variant. It really is a third wave. So you're seeing it not just with energy names or oil companies, but with all the reopening stocks. So we look at ConocoPhillips, Chevron, two names that we own, well off their highs. I think Chevron's down 14% from its highs. ConocoPhillips is a stock that's paying a 3% dividend, decent PE ratios, good solid earnings increases, good solid dividend increases. Both of them have nice share buyback programs. So, if you believe in the EV play, the flying car play, that's the future for sure. But it's not tomorrow. It's not today. I was at the gas station earlier, and I'm probably going to be heading there again tomorrow. So we like the energy names for the foreseeable future as just one of many sectors to take advantage of.
When you look at your flagship SMA, the Enhanced Dividend Income Portfolio, from a portfolio level, any changes over the last month of note?
We added Newmont Mining last week, which is a little bit of an alternative to the stock market. If you think of gold as being a little bit of a hedge or a non-correlated asset class. Another nice trade, we were able to get back into Caterpillar. Caterpillar, if you recall, a couple of months back, we had called away. Covered calls were written at about 225, 230 in that range. When the infrastructure talk became very, very popular, traditional infrastructure stocks rallied. We had Caterpillar called away. It was 236 when we had it called, and then it went to 245. I think a little bit overvalued at those levels. With a little patience and some luck, the stock pulled back also about 14%, like Chevron. Got down from 245, 235, 25, 15, 205. That's when we thought, hey, if it drops under 200, we'll get in. Kind of leveled off there. So we re-entered the position between 205 and 209. And it's a great stock. I mean, again, traditional infrastructure play, awesome dividend growth, nice solid 2% dividend while we wait. Really, really good valuations here.
Before we wrap up this update, what are your thoughts looking forward for the rest of the year as it relates to the portfolio?
Well, as I was reminded on CNBC this morning, I've been calling for a correction since last October. To the best of my recollection and yours, because we talked about this before the broadcast, I think it was about a week and a half ago I came on and I said, look, at these levels, valuations are high. S&P's up 20% on the year. I think a 5, 7, maybe 10% correction, which wouldn't shock the world, could certainly happen. Probably not right out of the gate here in September, because we've got this euphoria over the good news, or bad news is good news. But I think after options expiration in September into October, seeing a 5 to 10% correction is a real prediction. I think it's going to happen. And I think it's going to be a buying opportunity. I look for the holiday spending season and the year end to be strong. I don't think the stock market's going to end the year lower, but I think we're going to see some volatility here that we haven't seen in a long time. And I'm ready to embrace it.
So last month, we had a couple of great guests on your show, The Kevin Simpson Show, and I want to play you a couple clips. The first is from Mike Venuto, who came on. He's from Toroso, and he did a great interview about Bitcoin. He spoke about it at our level, Kevin, to where we could understand. And in my opinion, this is the best clip from the show.
I don't believe in buy and hold with cryptocurrency. I believe in what I call buy and learn, because these aren't stocks. They are protocols. They are things that could change how we do business, how we interact with each other, how we interact with the world. So, Bitcoin is the first and largest, and it's also one of the simplest and clunkiest. I do believe it is probably a more likely to succeed than many of the others. Ethereum is such a different animal that until you buy and learn Bitcoin, don't even look at Ethereum, because it's so different. There's so many different rules. There's so many things that dictate what the value could be. Now, you cut off all the rest, and you can basically put them all in the same bucket. They could be worth 10 times what they are, 1,000 times what they are, or zero.
Kevin, as we're recording this today, Bitcoin has recently surged back over 50,000, is experiencing a 10% pullback today as we record, and El Salvador has officially adopted it as a currency. That was such an informative episode with Mike Venuto. What did you learn?
Well, Jay, I think the truth is we need to have Mike back on to give us another primer on that, because to your point, what we saw today just with this trading and what we saw over the weekend makes me think whatever I thought I learned, whatever I thought I knew, I don't know. Now, it would have been really cool if I would have said there'll be a 10% correction in Bitcoin today. Then I would have looked really smart. But that was a great lesson from Mike. He's a brilliant guy, and I'm anxious to really hear more about the space and learn more about the space.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get Mike back on. You also had an opportunity to invite your friend Jackie DeAngelis on, and she talked about what I think was probably the most important geopolitical issue of last month. I'm going to play a clip.
Well, obviously, the first thing I would say before we even get to the metals and the minerals would be the stability in the region. Again, having lived there and understanding the players and the dynamics, obviously Iran is one of the big bad actors. It's got all of its proxies in different countries sort of wreaking havoc to a certain extent. I mean, that's their goal, is not to have stability. That's the way that regime continues to stay in power. So the linchpins that you have, the American allies, for example, the UAE and Saudi Arabia, all wonderful, but don't necessarily marshal the same kind of power. And so when you're seeing what's happening in Afghanistan with the Taliban right now, it concerns me greatly, because I think about overall stability in the region.
Kevin, that was such an informative interview. A couple of weeks have passed since you spoke with Jackie. What do you make of the Middle East now and its implications for financial advisors?
Well, any geopolitical risk, whether it's China, Afghanistan, is going to be something that financial advisors have to pay attention to. If you didn't watch that episode, it's the best one that we've done. She's so much smarter than Jay and I. I mean, talk about a brilliant person. We were very, very lucky to have Jackie come on and teach us what she did. And so much of that has transpired. If you just look at how the situation ultimately played out, everything that she outlined that could happen, almost like a worst case scenario, kind of played out that way. And it's sort of a sad end to a long period of time. That it's very important to people that were impacted in the World Trade Towers and everything that happened 20 years ago. So I think as we have a lot of fun on this show, and we're always thinking and joking and looking forward, maybe taking a few moments, not only to think about what happened recently in Afghanistan, but to remember what happened 20 years ago, because it was a tragedy. My son wasn't even alive at that time, and it's amazing how much time has passed, but seems like yesterday, and something I'll be thinking about this week.
It does seem like yesterday. Links to both of the shows are in the show notes for this episode. If you are not subscribed to Kevin's Monday Morning Observations, please head over to cwpnewsletter.com. That's cwpnewsletter.com. Kevin, we'll talk again next month.
Thanks, Jay.